Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Libra. And of course, always a big welcome to those who felt like getting an inspiration through this constellation. When we look at the sun from the perspective of the earth, we see now Virgo behind it. And when we look at the moon, we see Libra behind it. And we can see that the sun is now in the lantern of Virgo. Virgo is holding the sun up. It's almost like Virgo is saying, hey, have a look. And I give you the light so that you can have a look, a deeper look into the waxing moon, even though it's not a big, bright moon, but it's getting fuller again. And have a look, because in your next month, you are gonna be the one on my position. And you're gonna be having your new moon. You gotta have to look deep down into what is still there in your subconscious. The yoga position for Virgo is Tadasana, mountain pose with Namaste in the cosmic egg. And the yoga position for you is squatting, basically on your tiptoes, balancing with Namaste yourself in your own judgment, in your own preconceived notion that things have to be right, things have to be just. Nature is not just. No one can put the finger at why is there evil, why is there negativity. It just is. Once we accept it, like the exhale, we accept the exhale, because otherwise we would die. And that's what at the core of this card is, that you find harmony between the two words, positive and negative. Now, why is the word positive so positive? And why is the word negative so negative? Why don't we just say one is light and one is dark? And what is so difficult in the dark? Because in the dark, the seed grows. In the dark, you grow 9 months. You are in the womb of the mother, in the darkness. And then I have this one where I created a little bit more the yin and yang symbol. And of course, you have here the day and night equal fall equinox. So see, look what's there, because Virgo is helping you. The last reading we had Sun in Leo, and the message was spiritual liberation means you're emotionally liberating yourself as well. And the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the camel I put in the front. And it feels to me now, remembering the reading, I cannot remember all readings, right? It would be like, oh my God, I would have a mastermind. I would love to. I would love to do that, but I can't. So just from these 3 cards, I can see they're very much like connected with the emotions, and that's why I wrote spiritual liberation means you're emotionally liberating yourself as well. From what? You have emotionally liberated yourself, I hope you know. And just one more thing, your court card is the Queen of Swords. She is looking into the small cycle, the 365 1-year cycle that goes from left to right. The Earth spins that way around the Sun. And then we have another circle that is 25,800 years that goes from right to left, because it spins to the left. And that is then an age. And as you maybe know, we go from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, because it's left spinning through the zodiac signs. So here you are sitting on your throne, and you are looking into the small cycle. You have one bird above you, and you know mentally where you want to go. But there are quite also some emotions here. You see the clouds. If your birthday is between September 12 and October 12, this is your court card. If not, please look in the description below. I have listed all the dates of the court cards and the cards that I'm using here. Altogether 22, because it's the path of the soul that I am reading, the 22 major arcanas. And we begin right away here with the Fool, one of the oldest tarot decks that still is intact, which is the Visconti Sforza Tarot, created 1450. 14 then becomes a 5, so in a way it's a 5-5 portal. The Three of Pentacles, à bonne droite, says the card. And à bonne droite means, yeah, do good things come back, but understand the rights within you. Understand that in this trinity, in this body, mind and soul union, you can create, you can build on top of each other. And then you can begin your path from right to left with the Fool that has no zodiac sign connected with it. All zodiac signs begin their journey with the Fool, now with the Sun in Virgo. So you understand that sometimes when we combine forces, we can really build something. But first within you understand body, mind and spirit. And once you have understood that, then you can really create something. And what are you creating? You are creating on the position of the Magician. You're creating something Spirit is inviting you to create, because the eagle is the higher consciousness. The eagle is that which is landing or that which is leaving, but here it feels like he is landing in his nest and he's looking in this direction, right? The eagle is not looking in this direction. So consciousness is literally saying, yes, continue to do the things that you do here in the small circle, in the everyday, in the 365 degrees. Now we have the Sun in Virgo, but with the big circle, Virgo has been in the shadow side of Pisces. The age of Pisces that is ending, and we're going into the age of Aquarius. The shadow side of Aquarius is Leo. And so for 2,500 years, this energy, right, was in the shadow side, highlighting now the moon to you. And you got to look at that and be like, okay, now what I'm going to begin. And I begin to rebuild myself again and again. And this is what's so fascinating. These cycles are like a spiral. It's not a cycle, I finished a cycle and now that's it. No. It's that infinite cycle that's also as a sign above his head. It's never ending. And we don't really understand that here. It's very difficult to understand it. You understand it when you meditate. In meditation, you feel all of a sudden the infinity. And that's why meditation is really extremely powerful. And that's where you understand spirit, that spirit also wants to come down. That spirit is saying, yeah, I don't want to just be up there and fly. I also want to come down and come to my nest. And it's the card number 16, which is then a 17. The 1 is the Magician. The 6 is the Lovers. And the Lovers is about love yourself and now you can come down. And in the 7, you become successful, because the 7 is the Chariot that says, yeah, go out there and do what you know, do best and just do it. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes the Emperor. And the Emperor is Aries, and Aries is the one that says, okay, let me do it. He has the eagle now. He has embodied, he got the eagle coming down. He has the eagle now on the material square. The square is always the material plane. The square is saying, yeah, if you sit on this throne, I mean, that's why a throne is always a little square, right? And when you sit on this throne, he is looking into the big cycle. He's saying, okay, I got it. The eagle came down to me and I am moving forward. I am going now this path. And I know I'm supported by higher consciousness so that I can be empowered. Empower also the female, the high priestess that sits here right between the black and the white pillar. And from there comes, on the position of the Empress, the Wheel of Fortune. As you can see now, until here, there are no zodiac signs connected to these 4 cards. Here, the Empress has all 12 zodiac signs like a crown. And she is successful because she's neutral, she gives birth to all. She doesn't make a difference. She's not going to look at it and say, oh, I'm only going to give birth to Virgo, I'm only going to give birth to Libra, etc. She gives birth to all. And the feminine is the one that gives love to the masculine and the feminine. And the masculine sometimes loses a little bit its track because he thinks he's more superior to the feminine, because he's the light, he's the power. And so he's looking at the Wheel of Fortune, and that is you who is looking now at the Wheel of Fortune saying, okay, everything is spinning, everything is shifting, everything is cycling, everything is coming back at me. So let me do this round more consciously, because the Wheel of Fortune is literally saying, have a look, have a deeper look at this sacred mandala that incorporates all of creation. And this is the Hermetic Tarot, and this is Oswald Wirth. Both of these cards were used in secret brotherhoods. This in the Kabbalistic Rose Cross Order that was formed in France 1888, and this in the Order of the Golden Dawn that was formed in England 1888. And again, the dates and the numbers are important, and so they marked with the 1 the Magician, and with the 8 the infinite loop that is above the Magician. And the Magician is coming down to you in form of the eagle. So go ahead, my dear Libra, go ahead and create and manifest and do what you're supposed to come here to do, because that's what it's all about. That's really all about, that we manifest, that we create, okay? That we understand everything is spinning. It can be like this and it can be like that, right? Inhale and exhale. So on the position of the Emperor, you had 2 cards coming up. One, you had the 4 of Cups and the Page of Pentacles, and you had the Emperor. So the Emperor that is going the big cycle is now facing here down in the small cycle, a little bit of a questioning. The questioning is here, Moon in Cancer. That's what the card is letting you know. Moon in Cancer is, you have everything that you need. You have the 3 cups here. You have understood what the 3 means, because you have here on the Fool the 3 of coins. And the 3 of coins speaks about Mars in Capricorn. And Mars in Capricorn is that active climbing and manifesting wealth and manifesting things here in this dimension, manifesting things here in the 4th dimension, in the square, in the material world. And yes, you are here now sitting on your throne and looking at us, but nevertheless, have a look at this 4-4 portal. And don't focus just simply on these 3 cups, because this is the most important cup that you must focus on, is the cup that is given to you by God. God is, or this higher consciousness that we understand as a force, as an energy that is giving you everything you need, but you, for some reason, focus on these 3 cups and you think you need to get this one somewhere, but you already have it. You have it deep within you. All you need to do is meditate and really find it within you. And then you can look at the coin, you can look at the source of the 3 of Pentacles as that young generation that is actively now thinking about what I'm going to do with this money, how I'm going to put it into use, how I'm going to create something that makes this world worth living. Look at all these cards that I'm having here. These are 22 different people who have thought about the spiritual path, how we can show people what this spiritual path is about, and at the same time be good in the material world, be good in the emotional world, be good in the actions, be good in the way we think. That's what this is saying. Leaving a legacy where I can be an emperor, having an empire, building an empire. How you're going to build your empire, you got to connect with this cup, not with these 3 cups. On the position of the Hierophant comes the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is Aquarius. So either there is an Aquarian energy in your life, or in the month of Taurus, you can always see this as a person, that this is a Taurus, or that this is the month of Taurus. And in the month of Taurus, you got an Aquarian energy that spoke to you, that connected with you, that is connected with you because you're the Queen of Swords. And this is in a way a very similar energy. He's just more air and air, you air and water. And so when you look at this card and you see the Taurus month or a Taurus person here, it's saying combine the earthly, the material, the heaviness with the lightness of thinking, right? This is an earth sign and this is an air sign. So combine that and create out of that the success in the way you think, the way you look at us, and you're not facing the small, neither the big circle. You are looking straight, or he is looking straight at you and saying, hey, just you got to do what you got to do. Cut through all the bullshit, cut through the things that don't make sense, because that's where you're going to go. And then on the position of the Lovers comes the 9 of Cups. Then you really finding a deep self-love, Jupiter in Pisces, right? So there is something that's saying, yeah, you got the understanding of the cup because you have now 9. You got the understanding that this one cup is the most important cup, right? Even here, there's one cup there is more important than all the other ones. But nevertheless, what's so beautiful is that we see that she is excited, she is happy, she is loving herself, because the Lovers is Gemini. So in the month of Gemini, or there's a Gemini in your life that created quite some happiness in your life, and you are jumping up and you're enjoying yourself. And that is, of course, at the root of all is the 9, which is somehow then even the Virgo that is highlighting now the moon that you're looking in, and you can see, yeah, back then in the month of Gemini, I was really happy, and hopefully you're still happy, right? So we have a look at that. And then in the month of Cancer, the Hermit came. The Hermit spoke to you, look deep within, and you can see how the Hermit is looking in the big cycle, and she is going into the small cycle. And it's almost like that happiness that you found in Gemini, in the month of Gemini, or with the Gemini, that happiness that you found is now lighting the way, like he's holding the candle here. And when we light that way, then we become successful from deep within. Then we can go out and always remember the triangle that is actually being guided through the third eye into the dark and into the light, into the right arm and into the left arm. So Virgo is looking at us and is saying, yeah, when you are truly happy from deep within, then you can be successful. Then you can really go out there and create whatever it is that you want to create. And then in the month of Leo, the Ace of Pentacle is coming to you. And the Ace of Pentacle is speaking now through also this young generation to you, a young generation that is actually thinking about how I'm going to invest my money, and you then will make that money. Right? That's how the cycle is. Like, we all make money, and I'm voting with my money. I always say, what are you going to vote for with this money? Because when you buy something, you're voting. You vote. And you want to vote for people who have body, mind, and spirit in connection. If it's only body, then it's only like, I want to make money, and I want to exploit, and I want to abuse. You don't want to buy those products anymore. You want to buy products that are created through these three, the Three of Pentacles. An understanding, right, that there is a collaboration happening. And if I abuse one in the chain, then already the other two are not going to be as strong. And as three, we are a tribe. And so now you're getting the Ace coming. You're getting this animal looking at you and saying, yes, connect with the animal spirits, connect with the rock, connect with the earth, connect with what it is that you want to bring now your strength into the world. Show who you are, because you unified yourself. You created through a higher consciousness the understanding that this wild side within you doesn't need to be tamed. It needs to be lived, but it needs to be lived consciously. If I live it unconsciously, it has control over me. And that's what the Ace is saying. The Ace is the energy of God speaking to you, because on the position of Virgo comes then the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is Jupiter in Gemini. And Virgo is telling you, liberate yourself. Create now a new consciousness, an expansion of consciousness by liberation from within, by looking deep down within, by letting go of these castles, these air castles, by looking deep within. And yes, you have these 8 swords, and 8 swords usually is a bondage that is a mental bondage that is holding you. But Virgo is telling you, liberate yourself through that by looking deep within, by looking into this lantern, by looking at the 6-pointed star. And on the position of the 6, the Lovers, you have the 9 of Cups. So be happy from within. Start on enjoying your life from deep within. How do you do that? In meditating. Remember, meditate, meditate, meditate. Go deep within and see that within is the power always. In the outside, things already exist. It's almost like we have so much. Sometimes I really look out there and I'm like, oh my God, we have so much created, and how much more we want to create, right? But that's the new generation that wants to create as well. So find from within your inner child, because it's almost like she's looking at this child in her arms, and liberate your inner child. Liberate that which binds you to not be as free as your inner child wants to be free. On the position of Virgo, do the inner work, because when you do the inner work, then all is good. And this is fascinating, because in the German reading that I did yesterday, on the same position came the same card, but in the German deck. So it wasn't a mistake that I didn't shuffle enough, it was another deck. And if I now put the court card here, it shows, yes, she's looking over to her and she's saying, all is good. If you understand this, if you do this, if you do that work, then you will understand that the Wheel of Fortune is a coming and going, a coming and going, a coming and going, a coming and going, a coming and going. On the position of the Empress that is uniting with the Emperor, and the Emperor knows the path is also going this way. The Emperor is saying, all right, I understand both cycles. I am empowered as a spirit, I am empowered as a soul, but I'm also empowered as a physical being. All is good. Number 37, no rain today. In the German it says all is good. I like that better, so I keep calling it all is good. And yeah, you understand, a 1010 portal is liberating you to you now, because now you are coming to you and you're looking over to you. You're looking over and you're like, yes, I hold the sun, I understand the sun. The sun is the center of our solar system. The sun is very powerful. The sun is a star, a dwarf star. But nevertheless, the sun is now highlighting me and giving me a little light, because now comes the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is the word mem, and the word mem is the ocean, and the Hebrew word is literally this form here, this cave. This is the Hebrew letter mem, ocean, hanging upside down and getting enlightened is at the core of what you now searching and looking at. You are realizing something, you are realizing your power, you're realizing that while the sun is shining, I can also shed tears. I can incorporate the two sides in my life. I can always see that through the High Priestess, the black and the white pillar are important. The black and the white pillar are constantly coming up, and on your position, the black and white pillars are now gray. She mixed them. She is not anymore in that, well, this is good and this is bad, and judging and thinking, well, that's not right. Nature is not right. Nature is precise. And that's what I wanted you to see, that when you hold yourself in this position of how much can you be in your center, yourself, almost no one. Yes, the moon and the sun, they're very precise, they're very clear, they're very organized in their way. But we humans, we look at us, it's like it's impossible. So let go of that kind of thinking that there is an unjust world out there. No, there is just lessons that we all learn, that we all have to realize. And so the 3 is connecting you with this 3, because if you want to work with others, you got to learn to let go and to trust that you have the body, mind, and spirit within you, and no matter what, you can use that and build whatever it is that you're building. Because then, on the position of the Hanged Man, you got the emerald, and the emerald is green, is the heart, is the letting go finally, because if you're really letting go, then you come into your heart. And the number here is the number 50, and of course 5 is the throat, and then you speak that power out to the world through the throat, because the heart is then giving the throat the right speech. And the emerald is saying, giving and receiving from love. Open your heart for friendships, and open yourself to unite. And that's what the Hanged Man is saying. Unite from within, unite, and let yourself fall, because you will fall into the emerald. You will fall into a unity of the heart, and the heart is what can go wrong there? Nothing, only if we put the mind in and say there is something, there must be something wrong with that, right? So just allow this to happen, because you got the Hanged Man on your position. So really let that happen. Let whatever is coming now happen, because then to continue, even though this is in between, right? To continue now on the position of the Scorpio comes the Emperor again. And the Emperor is saying, go and look at yourself. He's looking straight at you, and he's saying, yeah, the Death card, we all will die. We all go the small cycle. We all in the 365 cycle die. In the other cycle that the Emperor here has come up with, the High Priestess, we don't die. We are infinite. We keep going and going and going. And so the Emperor is looking at you again and saying, yeah, don't worry if you die. It's meant to be. It's okay. It's good, because then you can begin new. And to begin new means then comes the inspiration, the number 20 of the wake-up call, the judgment. And again, I don't like that word because there is a judging in it. There is inspiration, and I like that much better. The inspiration, the angel speaking to you. Then you can look at this. You can look at what's happening here in a very gentle way. You can say, yeah, if I'm up here, if I meditate, then I understand that we all go through a little death, that even the Emperor has to die. Because if you look at it, the king is lying here on the floor. And the king is always that masculine energy that sometimes doesn't really want to die, right? Doesn't really want to let go. It's like that masculinity that's saying, well, I'm the Emperor. I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do it. And he's looking at you now and saying, yeah, I'm naked. I'm ready to let go and drop the body. I'm ready to go and drop into the ocean, because when I drop into the ocean, I don't need to be dressed. I just hang here. And I dive into the love, the deep, deep green ocean love of the emerald, of then being in the 5, being in the pentagram, being in the world, and understanding it, and loving it, and inspirationally sharing it back and forth, sharing it, the knowledge that you have deep within. Because on the position of Capricorn comes the Fool. So you begin either in the month of December, a new endeavor, or with the Capricorn, you begin something new. She's standing here on the crystal and she's like, yay, I'm jumping into the unknown. And she too is directed from right to left. You see? From right to left. So the people who understood the old cards put that into the new cards as well, and realized there's a big cycle and there's a small cycle. And she's looking into the big cycle as well. So as you can see now, there is a message coming to you, begin new, even though we're reading right now in this direction, but we can also read it in this direction. You begin new to realize who you truly are, that you have that all in your head, it's all in your mind. Spirit is here, Spirit is looking at you and saying, yes, just go for it. Go for it. Climb up, because you had the Three of Pentacles, Mars in Capricorn. Go for it. Do what it is you need to be doing, and then you get on the Tower the liberation of the Swan. Now, in the German reading, this card came up there as well. So 2 cards today are coming up from the German reading yesterday, the same moon in Libra at the same position and speaking to you, saying, let go of thinking you can act willfully, that you can, like the Emperor, think that you can from a force come and push the people, right? Come and sometimes then also be in a sadness and not realizing that this cup is always here. Realize that you are sometimes also trapping yourself into your mental state of thinking, and realize the only way out there is getting hanged upside down so that you can see the emerald. Emerald is the emperor, emerald, right? And the emperor can rule through the green, through the color green. He holds here the world with the cross in front. The green color is being there for others, is being there with others. And so the swan yesterday, though, came upside down. And for me, it wasn't upside down. It looked like this swan is saying, yeah, look at the big cycle. Look at where you can go. And now today it's coming upright and the swan is going the small cycle. So yes, we're going still the small cycle because you're liberating yourself from things that don't work anymore. And so you becoming the swan. And the swan is saying, effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. So if you go forward in a small cycle, you want to be like this, because the swan represents the heightened creativity of the Hindu goddess Saraswati. She's the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry. And so you want to open yourself up to that creative power. You want to let go of that force that sometimes is rigid and is in the 4 square, is in that, I need to have it like this. No, you begin to understand, let's do it like that, right? You begin to understand, if you begin a new cycle now, through the third eye, through the spirit that you have witnessed, that you have seen, begin effortless, like a swan. Just glide and release all thinking of things that you think you can force yourself through. No, you are now riding gracefully with this creature through the waters, and the swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. Powerful, because then the Ace of Swords is coming, and that is for you the sword, right? You hold the sword in your hand on the position of Aquarius. Then through that liberation, the liberation of the Tower, releasing this beautiful creature out of you, and then gliding into Aquarius, gliding effortlessly into the spiral, the infinite spiral of creativity, of creating whatever it is that you want to create. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here in this dimension. It's not that we are here in this dimension and think, oh God, you know, yeah, there are a lot of things that disturb us, but focus on the things that make you glide, that make you feel empowered. And so use the power in the age of Aquarius, because you had the King of Swords coming, the Aquarian power, to use the power, So are you able to use it because you connected through the swords with Aquarius? You're connected through the swords, through that mental aspect that you have deep within you, with the stars, with the mental connection, and can uplift yourself into this new realm that is upon us, and then go into the moon. And here comes the number 41, the Moon Maiden. And the Moon Maiden here, the dream oracle, is you dreaming about you being connected to the moon, you being connected to the moon cycle, the same way I do the reading exactly on the day where the moon is in your sign. You don't get the reading before. I don't want to do that. Why should I? Then I become someone that is predicting the future. I want to feel what is happening when the moon is in your sign. And so here I am doing the reading today where the moon is in your sign. And that's happening only once a year. This constellation happens only once a year. And that's special to me, and that's why I'm doing the reading the way I'm doing the readings like this. And so you becoming the Moon Maiden, and that creates new beginnings, spiraling infinitely in all directions, into the small and into the big. So now have read from the small circle, 365 days, we go from Aquarius into Pisces. But if we read it from right to left, we go from the age of Pisces through the moon. You are able to connect with the star, with the age of Pisces. If you connect, like me, with the moon cycle, with this force, then you can begin new, and you can enter the age of Aquarius, because the moon is the link into the sun. If I read it now into the small cycle, because the sun is the center, and the earth is spinning around the sun, but the moon is spinning around the earth. So that's the link that I can get into the next cycle. And so the next cycle, usually the sun, if I read it from left to right, is here. And I'm taking this leap into then the next age. But I'm reading it now from right to left. And so the moon is the last card. And now I have the sun coming in this direction. You see that? And the sun is helping you to jump into the moon phases as that connection that then will bring you to Aquarius. Or it is Aquarius that brings you into the moon. Then it is me going from age of Aquarius into the age of Pisces, is going backwards. And so it's helping you, right, to go into the age of Aquarius. And then the next step is the, I'm reading now from right to left, as you see. Now the judgment, or not the judgment, like I said, the inspiration from the native Indian cards. I have listed them all down there so you can have a look yourself. The inspiration is to go this direction, the jump that you took into the age of Aquarius, or the jump that you took out of the moon or through the moon, right, into the sun, but it's the sun that's jumping into the moon, is now helping you to go the big cycle, having the strength, having the horsepower to go forward, to see that yes, I am having the inspiration to awaken, to start fresh. This is the number 18, which is a 1 and an 8, and that's a 9, and it's Virgo that's helping you to go in this direction. It's Virgo that's saying, hey, have a look, because when you start, you must start from where you are, examine your situation, and take a chance. And you are taking a chance. You have the inspiration to take that chance, and you take that chance into this direction, not into this direction, even though the sun is saying, yeah, whichever way you're jumping, it's okay. You're jumping here in the physical plane into the circle from left to right, and on a spiritual circle, you're going then over to the other side, right? So if I jump from sun into the moon or from sun into the judgment, doesn't matter. The sun is in the center. The sun is saying you can jump here, but now the wake-up call is saying no, go the big circle as well, because on the position of the world comes the Hermit. The Hermit is helping you to find deep within that which can only be understood when you meditate, when you're in silence, when you understand, yes, the body is looking into the small cycle, but the head, the mind, is looking into the big circle. And when I put the Fool here, she sees again the next cycle. She's not having yet ended this cycle yet, but for some reason, you know, she is looking up into the sun, and interesting enough, she decided to create the Hermit into the small cycle. You see that? Usually the Hermit looks into the big cycle. So there's already a difference, right? So some artists maybe don't realize that. And so you learning to really understand that this cycle is upon you, and it's saying that you are understanding that what you build, you are looking in your meditation into the 3 of Pentacles, and you know and you understand, yes, this is what I want to create. This is my new cycle, which begins always new each month, but also begins every 2,150 years with a new sign and in the sun that creates an age. And so you are learning to understand that, which I understand as well. Sometimes I make mistakes. I'm not sure. It's also like the mirror effect. When I look at here and I'm like, yeah, it's going this way, and then I put it here and I'm like, wait a minute, it's looking wrong. So I make mistakes. I do make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. But understand that when you meditate, accepting the mistakes is actually part of the learning experience here in this dimension. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then you getting the new moon, then the sun is in your sign. Then we are moving in the small cycle into Libra, and there you see already something big transformative is already speaking to you. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.